Dating one person at a time is not actually respectful. It's kind of a form of self-abandonment. Hear me out. I used to be the kind of person who would start dating multiple guys at once. I'd very quickly find a guy who was most my type or who I had the best chemistry with. And pretty quickly after that, I'd kind of drop all the other guys or girls or whoever else was in the picture and pursue or move forward with this one guy. I truly believed that it was just a high integrity decision. It was just being honest with myself about how I felt. And why keep dating other people if I know who already has the most attention? I've only learned recently why this is extremely problematic and does actually lead to a lack of self-respect and a much greater possibility for pain, hurt, disillusionment later on. So there's a couple issues with this. The first is the obvious, that these are people who didn't earn it. It is a privilege to take up that much space in your calendar, in your mind, in your heart. That is not something you just want to hand off to a guy you've only just met who made you feel good a couple times. I don't care if they are attractive. I don't care if the chemistry is off the charts. I don't even care if you have a lot of good complementary things on paper. Lived experience is the only thing that matters. And if they haven't done their time, then they should not be in that spot, period. The second thing, when you put someone in that spot, before they've actually earned it, before you've actually collected real hard evidence that they deserve to be in that space, it can become increasingly easier for you to build that story on their behalf. Because think about it, what happens when you've dropped all these other options? Scarcity starts to come into play. You forget that there are other options. You forget that you are incredibly desirable. You kind of lower your standards, maybe without realizing it. And you start investing more in the outcome of this specific dynamic instead of just what's generally right for you. And what does that do to your perception of the relationship? It distorts it. Because instead of just observing this person as they are, you start seeing what you want them to be. It often works fine in the beginning because, to be honest, having fantasies about each other is hot. To see the best in someone, even if they're not showing up that way. But real relationships require an integrity to their structure. Fundamentally, there needs to be compatibility. There needs to be realness and authenticity. And that cannot coexist with you creating a narrative. On the flip side, you yourself might be falling into this default progression of a relationship without even examining your own values. Does this person show up like this? Does this person like this? How does this person handle these situations? What are important to me in a relationship? What do I need in a relationship? These are things that require you to be kind of using a different part of your brain. So it's really hard to hold both. And once we start falling into that trap, which comes pretty quickly after dropping all of our other options and focusing on one person, it's hard to come back from that. And then you're not only left with that feeling of rejection, but you're left with nothing because you dropped basically everything, at least romantically, for this person. You gave so much of yourself, your autonomy. You gave your autonomy, really, at the end of the day, and maybe a little bit of your self-respect to that person. So here's what I've started to do differently. In case you didn't already guess it, I am no longer someone who just moves into exclusivity by default. I will say it straight to somebody's face. We're not together. Unless told explicitly otherwise. And that will only come after I hear from you, after maybe months, if not years, of getting to know me and all the unpleasant human qualities that make me, me. Maybe we have conflict. Maybe we go phases without even talking. And then we come back to each other and you straight up tell me, my life is better with you in it. Then, and only then, might it make sense for a relationship to happen, because that's being chosen. That's not pursuit through momentum, ego, and just the love of the game. That is, I've seen all of you. There's depth here now, and I'm not moving towards you from an instinct to fill a void or because I like the projection that I put on you. No, this is being chosen for who you are. All of it. If someone is standing in front of me after 6 months' time and we have seen it all together, if they are still choosing me and they are saying it with their chest, they might just have me for life. Until then, I'm having a great fucking time. And I'm single, so hit me up. I'm just kidding, not really though. Okay, bye.